Hey guys, how y'all doing today? This is the Club with the Man 1993, and I'm here live to talk about Raw from last night. Um, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm not really in the right mood right now, but I'm doing this because it's best that I continue just to do things to get my mind off of things that are going on right now. Even though I will tell you what happened yesterday that caused a delay for this review. Um, and if you see down in the description box below, I am not giving this show a grade. I unfortunately yesterday just was not in the right emotional state. I was not really paying attention to Raw when I watched it. I always say Raw is background noise. There's always something I usually catch, but I didn't really pay good attention to Raw last night. And the main reason why, because once again, the bad news bug continues to bite my family right now. I mean, I feel selfish saying that because, again, I'm sure there's other people in the world who's dealing right now with, the loss of their jobs, being stuck at home and limited what they can do, dealing with deaths in the family as well. Yesterday, though, was just kind of sudden. As you know, 2 weeks ago, my uncle passed away. Um, and then over the weekend, my cat, whose name is Grafer, was acting a little bit odd all weekend. He had just turned 14 on Thursday, and I was raving about how healthy and great of a kitty he was. But then over the weekend, he started acting odd. Well, actually, I'll pull up his picture to show you guys. This is back on his 12th birthday, 2 years ago. Okay, he just turned 14 on Thursday. He was the healthiest kitty at 14 you could have asked for, except for back in November when he had suffered a war wound and he had some puffiness around his face. But it was just he just needed to take some medication and it seeped out. Well, late Friday he started meowing like crazy and it sounded like a baby crying. It was not him. But then Saturday he was still walking around eating his food, but he was only eating soft foods, and he was also still going in his litter box. So we thought maybe he just had some seepage underneath his jaw and, just some stuff from back in November that, he never got rid of. Well, on Sunday, he was not really doing much of anything. He was laying around, he wasn't eating, wasn't meowing as much, but he just seemed really tired and wasn't doing anything. So we waited till yesterday to call the vet, and also we put him in his bed on Sunday night, and and um, and unfortunately, he never came out of his bed. Monday morning, we got up. He was just laying in there. He had this like glazed look in his eyes, and we just knew it wasn't good. So we called the vet. He told us to take him to an emergency clinic, and they got there and they found lumps underneath his jaw, saying how cats do tend to hide illnesses like this for quite some time. We'll never know, and which we never would know because he moved around like he was still the hyper kitty of um your normal self. And I know you guys have something to lie. Check out their story, but I just wanted to share my story about my cat really quick. But they took him he had those lumps and his blood pressure was really low and he was very cold and in shock. So my parents talked it over and we just felt it was best to put him down. And again, it was just like it just happened like that. And yeah, I just was not in the right emotional state yesterday. Um, we actually adopted Grafer back when he was a year and a half old. He was a stray. He came walking onto our yard one day while my sister and I were playing in the backyard when I was in 8th grade. And we just took him in. Everybody loved him, especially my recently deceased uncle who always, loved watching Grafer eat his turkey cups and always brought him Shop and Save chipped ham, which I'm pretty sure they're, eating all they want up in heaven right now. But, yeah, it was just another sad day, guys. And again, I hate to keep bringing the bad news. I hope to bring more good news soon once this pandemic lifts. But just keep my family in your thoughts and prayers. And, yeah, I'm definitely, very sad about this loss, especially with how sudden it came. Like I was sad about my uncle as well, but like my uncle, he had been sick for a while. We knew it was coming, and he lasted longer than we expected. But like this one was just like out of the blue, and it was very hard for me, and but again, I'm trying to just move on and get back to my normal content today. So thank you, Great Fur, for being the best cat anybody could have ever asked for. So back to Raw again. Last night, well, I'll read the live chat questions in a second. Raw last night, I didn't really pay good attention to because I was working on the Money in the Bank prediction match card, and I was just out of it last night. So I'm not going to give the grade. I'm going to kind of recap more so what happened. Let's check the live chat. 2020 does suck. Apollo Cruz being Mr. Money in the Bank. We'll see. What do you think of them doing the ladder matches at the headquarters? Where would you have to work your way to the roof? I'm for it. I mean, I like that they're trying something different. I mean, if it's going for that cinematic style, like they did at WrestleMania with like the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match, I'm for them giving this a shot. It actually made things a little bit interesting. The only problem is this: well, there's only 6 people in these ladder matches, which that's fine by me, but the depth of the matches, the people who are in the match. Who do I really want to see win Money in the Bank? Like, who am I really dying to see? I mean, Apollo Cruz would be good, but he still has a little bit more seasoning to do in his character, which I'll get to that when I get to his match. But as far as the trying the match inside headquarters, I'm for giving that a shot. I find it interesting. It's different. We'll see how it goes. Raw is dead. I did not give it a grade. Again, all the shows are dead right now because there's no audience. If there was an audience, I think some of this stuff would be better. But also, there's still some storytelling stuff that doesn't make sense to me. Who do you think will win the matches? Again, for the women, I'm still saying Sasha Banks for the women. For the men, again, maybe Apollo Cruz, but my thing is which I'd like to see. But my thing is I feel like they have to season them out a little bit more, in my opinion. So the men I'm still questioning, but the women I'm still going to say Sasha Banks. But let's briefly recap this show. So we open up with a promo with Drew McIntyre, talking about the WWE Championship and its history and its prestige and whatnot. And then he talks about Seth Rollins, how he stomped McIntyre's head twice last week. He just wants Seth wants to be champion, but at least he deserves a shot. A lot of people say no. I say no, which a lot of us say no, not because I think Seth sucks. That's not true. But look at reality here. He lost at WrestleMania to Kevin Owens. Where's Kevin Owens now? Nowhere to be found. Where's Seth Rollins? Getting a main event title shot. How much sense does that make to me? Zip. So a lot of people say no, but McIntyre thought about it, and he came to a conclusion that he could make Seth jump through hoops, which I'm like, yes, go for it. If they at least have him win like a qualifier match or something, that's fine. Back in 2016, AJ Styles didn't win at WrestleMania, but he had still won a Fatal 4-Way qualifying match the following night on Raw. So at least they had him jump through some type of hoops to get, his championship opportunity. Seth Rollins, they're not here because he says how Seth is one of the most decorated superstars of all time, and he continues to beat the best. So in 3 weeks, he will let Seth Rollins challenge him for the WWE Championship. And I'm like, oh great, there we go again. Again, just literally wins and losses do not matter. You can get a championship shot. All you gotta do is just piss off the champion. Way to go, WWE. So then we have Angel Garza, Austin Theory, and Zelina Vega come out. McIntyre says he'll get to them later. He's got a match with Garza, but Zelina's like, nah, you're sick of your little rah-rah speeches, and the problem is he's too focused on Money in the Bank, and he's looking past Angel Garza. So Andrade Cien Almas, who had a 5-minute match with McIntyre in the main event last week, 5 minutes, but it could have been like 10 or 15 minutes, blindsides him, but then he eats a Claymore kick from McIntyre, and then Drew does a second one on him, and we go to break. Our first qualifying match was one of Vega's clients, Austin Theory, taking on Aleister Black, and Aleister Black won the match. Austin Theory for sure is definitely staying on the main roster. I mean, again, I don't know much about him. I was interested in him in NXT. Still think it's too soon to have him on the main roster permanently. And the other thing is, too, is about this little stable that Vega is having now with Almas Garza and Theory. It's interesting, but I'm already losing interest. You want to know why? Because all they're doing is losing and not looking like anything spectacular. It's unfortunate, and like, because it does have the potential. Andrade is great. Angel Garza is a star. Well, they did modify his theme music because they had to modify everyone's theme music for no reason. And Austin Theory, young upstart, but I'm still growing. He's still growing on me. I don't really know him that well, which is why I still wish he kind of would have stayed in NXT. I'm fine with them giving him the opportunity like they did, but he'd have to stay up on the main roster. But but Aleister Black qualifies as I expected. Afterwards, he's interviewed saying that he doesn't really know much about corporate life, and he probably has to cover his tattoos, but when he enters the match for his opponents, each floor of the building is turned into their own personal hell. So Aleister should have a good performance in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Shayna dismisses the idea that she went too far last week. She didn't break any rules, she just broke Sarah Logan's arm. Which I've heard rumors as well. Sarah Logan is one name already being talked about, WWE trying to bring her back. And apparently people have gone to bat for her to come back. So maybe, who knows. Then we have Shayna Baszler take on some jobber named Indy Hartwell. And again, match ends in referee stoppage because Shayna stomps out her arm. And then she gets the ladder, and then she drags Hartwell out of the ring, swings the ladder into the barricade, and wedges Hartwell's arm in there and kicks the ladder and does more damage to the arm. So, okay, they're doing awesome damage, but once again, this is the same person who lost to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, the same way that she first lost to Ember Moon in her first match in NXT. So, we'll see. We then had a match with Cedric Alexander and Ricochet taking on Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. They've been using that tag team a lot from NXT. Not bad match. They did a lumbar check into a recoil finish. Was it a recoil? It was a recoil into the lumbar check, which was nice. I am digging this tag team with Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. I mean, yes, they should be single stars fighting it out, but it gives them something to do. Builds up their credibility again, but I just hope that it's not like Cesaro, who just gets stuck in the tag team division and gets nowhere else. But Paul Heyman obviously has the faith in these guys that Vince McMahon doesn't, so we'll see what happens. Oh, and then we have Asuka and Kairi Sane interview backstage about a rematch between Sane and Nia Jax, and they start talking in Japanese. I don't know what to say. And then we'll get to the Bobby Lashley stuff later on. Kairi Sane then loses again to Nia Jax. Kairi took another bump. I've heard rumors that Kairi's contract is all this stuff. I also heard a false report that she was one of the people who was originally going to be released last week, but she wasn't. But I heard her contract was almost stuff. Kairi needs to leave. Vince sees nothing in her whatsoever. I mean, as tag champions, Asuka felt was getting a huge spotlight. Kairi Sane, though, felt like she was just laying there as dead weight, unfortunately. Which is a shame because Kairi was awesome. She was a former overall competitor of the year for NXT. Even though I didn't think, that was quite the right route to go with it. But, she's still awesome. She won the first Mae Young Classic. She's a former NXT Women's Champion. But, yeah, Vince sees nothing in her. So she's just getting squashed like crazy until her contract runs out. We then get a promo from the Monday Night Messiah himself, Seth Rollins, talking about how not many men know what it's like to walk in Drew McIntyre's shoes, but he does. They have a lot in common, including their deep love and passion for the industry. He accepts the title match at Money in the Bank out of necessity because now more than ever, the W Universe needs a leader. As much as they have in common, he's a proven leader and Drew isn't. So he doesn't want to take the title from Drew, but he has to because he feels he's the better leader. Well, once again, this good leader lost at WrestleMania, but yeah, he's done nothing since, and he's gained a title opportunity. Other than he beat a jobber and had the most deranged look on his face. Okay, so then we have first we have some random shitty thing with the Viking Raiders singing karaoke in the car. Do they really have no clue what characters give the Viking Raiders? Gosh, is this just a shame that they were literally one of the best things we've seen in the WWE, well, in NXT. And then they come up to Raw out of the blue, change their name, and just that name change watered the heck out of them. It's a shame. Then MVP had a promo before his match talking about how he's seen a lot of WWE superstars rise and fall in pursuit of the Money in the Bank briefcase. He laid out the stakes of the match. He puts Apollo Cruz over, calling him the most gifted athlete on the roster, and saying that he's lit Monday Night Raw on fire. No, he hasn't. I'm sorry. Apollo's been booked like shit since coming to the main roster. But Apollo's outmatched. He's well suited. He is to the ladder match. He's going to win, but Cruz's intro then cuts him off. Apollo Cruz and Montez Ford and MVP have a match. Which, first off, I thought MVP retired from in-ring competition. I guess not. He saw the match here and there. Match was all right for what I saw. Again, my thing is I hear the rumors that well, first off, I'm wondering if they traded Mojo Rawley for Apollo Cruz. Mojo Rawley is now listed on SmackDown because of Gronk. My thing is Paul Heyman is apparently very high on Apollo Cruz, which I like. And Apollo Cruz, I want to see get pushed. But they're going to do this thing where it's going to kind of just throw him into the Money in the Bank match, there's nothing to him. Then I'm a little sour on that because it's because watch this match at times, it still felt like a guy who was struggling to get out of the low card scene getting thrown into this match. I mean, he had a good performance, showing a little bit more of a heelish side. I had a heelish look to him when he wrestled Aleister Black a couple weeks ago. It was too long of a match, yeah, but I actually was kind of intrigued. But to me, it felt like they kind of drifted away from that. From what I saw in this match, a lot of people were hoping because MVP teased some type of new stable idea a couple weeks ago, right before WrestleMania. And a lot of people keep saying it should have been a stable with Apollo Cruz, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. Well, I was hoping this match would have led towards some type of direction with that, and it didn't. And again, kind of felt like it veered away from that direction. I felt like they were going with Apollo a couple weeks ago. Apollo won. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity, but again, my thing is they definitely need to season out his character a lot more, because again, they literally just send him down the tubes, and now they're expecting us instantly care, oh my gosh, boom, we can care again. And unfortunately, I didn't quite feel that in this match. I want to feel it because I want to see Apollo Cruz, because that's what I mean. Apollo Cruz should be a world champion. Again, he should have had a run of the NXT championship before coming to the main roster. They called him up way, way, way too soon. He should have at least stayed in NXT for another year and had a run with a championship. But fortunately, that did not happen. But Apollo wins with a delayed Blue Thunder driver, or that spinning sit-down powerbomb that he does. And he's in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ruby Riott was interviewed saying she was never really a Riott squad. She just had her double shoulder surgery because she carried the other two on her back. She was the one that made them look good now. And look at them now. Sarah Logan's got a broken arm, and Liv Morgan will be lucky if she doesn't break both her arms tonight. Obviously, this whole storyline of Liv Morgan saying she's found herself coming out of her shell, which I kind of do see that storyline, and Ruby Riott, who already knows established. So Liv had a match with Ruby, and to my surprise, Liv won. So I'm like, okay, I found that intriguing, yes, I know Ruby's not really been booked too well since coming back either. She jobbed out the Shayna inside the chamber, and she had a decent match, but she lost to Asuka last week. But I thought having her in the Money in the Bank ladder match would have been good for her career. I felt like she could have needed it. She needs it more than Nia Jax. And, Shayna Baszler in the Money in the Bank ladder match, I'm fine with that. Asuka, sure, but Ruby Riott, I felt, should have been in that Money in the Bank ladder match. We had that happen there. Liv won this match. I was fine with that. Okay, and then we'll get to the Bobby Lashley stuff later, because Bobby Lashley had 3 segments tonight that were just so stupid. We'll get to them in a little bit. Also, we got another graphic in memory of the late, great Howard Finkel, who passed away last week. Again, please no more right now, guys. Please no more, God. Then we had our last Money in the Bank qualifying match, Buddy Murphy and Rey Mysterio. Again, I didn't really pay as much attention to this match as I probably should have, but the match right here was pretty good. Only disappointment was that Rey won. Not that I'm upset that Rey's in this match, but this should have been Buddy. That's one person I would definitely, would like to see win Money in the Bank is Buddy Murphy. But I don't know why they didn't put him in the match. He lost to Ray, so I'm like, that sucks. But the match is still good. But it was a little disappointing to me. So we had that, and then backstage we had an interview with Vega and Garza. Zelina Vega takes issue with the idea that things don't go as planned earlier as Drew runs down for attacking Almas when he could barely stand, which once again, Almas was able to stand, but your client looked weak. I'm sorry. Talk about how it'd be a real shame if Drew didn't make it to Money in the Bank. But Garza asked Apollo Cruz for an interview after his match, but of course it's not going to happen because Garza's not going to win this match. We called that from the get-go. Charlotte Flair defeated Kaden Carter despite the fact that Kaden Carter, is from NXT, while Charlotte's the NXT Women's Champion. Kaden I thought had some moments of offense in there on Charlotte, but Charlotte got to win with the submission. Alright, let's talk about Bobby Lashley now. So, the past few weeks, Bobby Lashley has a match with Aleister Black. Okay? He's completely, in love with Lana, even though she just toys with him, drags him along, and literally he just does everything he tells her to do. Like he proposed to her because Lana told him to. He said the exact vows that Lana wrote for her because she told him to. He didn't know that Lana had another husband before Rusev, but he still married her. And he didn't know about Lana and Liv Morgan's secret relationship, but he still stayed with her. But then the one match he has at WrestleMania, where Lana tells him to spear him and spear Black instead of hit the Dominator on him, Lashley loses the match, and Lashley, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. I need new management. I need new this. Last week he even told Lana to shut the hell up. And there was obviously tension there, which once again, though, still made Bobby Lashley's character look stupid, because Lashley may not, get upset with Sami Zayn, makes fun of his sisters and whatnot, but he'll get upset for the smallest, smidgest little thing in the world. All of a sudden, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever. So this week, they have Bobby Lashley having 3 segments on Raw, hyping up, oh my gosh, can I flip this tire? It's like, we know you can flip this tire. And Lana's there, completely supporting and happy, and they're all laughing, like, nothing happened, we're all good and dandy and whatnot. How much more stupid can they make Bobby Lashley? I'm sorry, Bobby Lashley should be a god, killing it, being in the world title feud, having that match with Brock Lesnar, that even though his character is just so out of whack, I still want to see that match with him and Brock Lesnar. I'll say it again. I would still want to see the match with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. That's the only reason why I still probably care a little bit about Bobby Lashley. But they still seriously can't make his character any more stupid. I'm sorry. It is. His character is just stupid. Like, last week you beat the crap out of No Way Jose. You tell your wife to shut the hell up. A week before, you're saying you need a new wife for new management, all because of one loss. One loss. Yet for months, you were having sex with her. You were just doing everything. You were basically a puppet on strings to her. Yet the one little mistake she makes, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, then, I'd see if I can flip this tire. Cut me a break. He flips over a tire we all knew he could, and another one we knew he could as well that was thicker, but we all knew he was able to do it. A show hyped up around 3 to be continued, the drama of like, oh my gosh, will Bobby Lashley flip over his tire? Who cares? Andrade had a match then with Akira Tozawa, and he won the match. Afterwards, the Street Profits came out, introduced Bianca Belair. Bianca then had a match and quickly defeated Santana Garrett, and they celebrate with her. Of course, they still have to make that change to her intro graphic because it still says the EST of NXT, but it should be saying the EST of WWE because she's on Raw officially. And the main event was Angel Garza and Drew McIntyre. Once again, didn't give them much time. Probably about 8 minutes. I guess that's reasonable, but probably felt like it could have been a little bit longer. It felt like another rushed main event. McIntyre wins, and he claymores everyone else in Vegas stable, making them, I'm sorry, look weak. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I gotta say about the show. Yeah, I'm not gonna give it a grade. I didn't really feel like I paid enough attention to it to give it a grade, unfortunately, because of what all happened yesterday. But it's a shame. Let's check the live chats. Let me see here. Woman, Naya. Please no. Well, I mean, there is history with her and Becky, but please no. Please no. It should be Sasha Banks. I would like to see Sasha Banks. Or, I mean, I'd be okay if maybe Shayna Baszler does. Kinda, gives her something to do. Maybe, who knows. They kind of give her fuel going back again, because that loss to Becky at WrestleMania was not the right move, I still feel. Sasha and Aleister, maybe Black. I don't know. Black right now feels he doesn't need Money in the Bank, I think. Let me see here. If you want to give Seth a title shot, I should have beaten Owens, correct. McIntyre beats Rollins in under 10 minutes. Fine by that. Tyler thinks Shane is ready. The Raw Tag Team Division is in the world of Randy Orton. Stupid. Because there's no depth in it. Absolutely. There's no depth in any of these divisions. Dakota agrees. Trade AJ to SmackDown for Daniel Bryan to Raw. Which, okay, fine. I mean, Daniel Bryan's... Well, I keep hearing rumors that Daniel Bryan might go part-time anyways. Plus, two, Daniel Bryan's been on SmackDown the whole time since the brand split return. I'd be okay with Bryan moving over to Raw. Give him some fresh competition for sure. Lash needs to dump Lana. Yeah, just have an actual story that makes sense with it. Tyler's taking a break from Raw and SmackDown. And Dakota's hearing that Black will be champion before the end of the year. Which, I'm fine by that. Again, I just don't feel like when Shinsuke Nakamura first came up to the main roster in 2017, I didn't feel he needed the Money in the Bank contract. I feel the same about Aleister Black. I don't think Aleister needs the Money in the Bank contract. But him being champ by the end of the year, fine by me. I know months ago when McIntyre first won the Rumble, I know a bunch of my friends that were saying maybe we can get McIntyre and Black at SummerSlam, if it still happens, of course. So I'm for it. But again, I just don't know if Aleister really needs the contract. And yes, I think Jeff is feuding with Sheamus. And that's true. Are we going to really feud Sheamus to Jeff out of all these squash matches? Yeah, that's very true. Who knows? But guys, that's going to do it. Again, I'm sorry, again, this wasn't really the best review. Again, I'm just trying to, do things, get my mind off of things. Again, I'm just sorry that, I keep bringing nothing but bad news. But, hopefully things start getting better for myself and for all of you out there with all what's going on right now. So guys, once again, no grade for Raw this week. This is just more of like a recap. What are your guys' thoughts on Raw? Please let us know in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe and comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. I'll try to get back to my Harry Potter Let's Play later on today as well. I just have one or two things I need to do. So, yep, that's going to do it, guys. I'm checking out. See you guys all later. Have a great rest of your day. Love you all. Peace out, everybody.